Go ahead, Tom.
Hayden, when you listen to people around the SEC, they're talking about what a surprise team you guys are. I'm wondering, what do you guys internally think about what you've done through 4 games? Have you surprised yourselves?
That's a great question. I think in our minds, we wanted to be a dominant defense, and I think we practice like that every day. I think the coaches tried to instill that confidence in us that we could be a really great defense. And so I wouldn't say that we're shocked or surprised by any means on how well we've performed, but it's just nice to see your hard work pay off. And it's really enjoyable to go out and play great defense and enjoy the game and play it how it's meant to be played.
Scotty.
Hey, Hayden, I'm wondering if you could maybe talk to us about your play just the last couple of weeks. I think 3 tackles for loss. And then Saturday, I think you tied a career high in tackles. I guess your thoughts on your play last couple of weeks.
I think I've been playing good. I definitely left quite a few plays out there on Saturday. I think that I could have played better. But I think I played good enough to win, obviously. And it's nice to see that the habits that I'm having in practice are paying off, and I'm playing good in games and tackling well. And so, I feel like I'm playing good, definitely can play better. I got to give credit to the coaches for instilling quite a bit of confidence in me when it comes to the game plan and understanding the opponent's scheme and what they're going to run. I got to give it to them for that, because I feel like I know what play's coming before the ball's even snapped. So it's really nice.
Nikki.
Yeah, you mentioned it already with crediting the coaches, but what's different with this year's team? Like how are you guys able to continually, you face an obstacle, you get over it. How and what can you credit for that attitude?
I just think everyone's so fed up. We're so tired of being Arkansas, the bottom feeder. And I think it's been great getting to win some games, to realize that, wow, we have talent on this team, and we have guys that can play really well at a high level. And it's just really like some camaraderie on the team. We got guys making a lot of plays, and we're feeding off each other and doing a lot of good things.
Mike.
You mentioned fed up. This SEC losing streak, or this losing streak against A&M, goes back a ways. Do you feel like you guys are better equipped to deal with them this year? There have been a lot of those games have been lost defensively late. So just react to that.
They're a well-coached team, playmakers at every position. So we just need to, we need to do our jobs. All 11 people have a job, and we get that done, and we can play with anybody. We just got to play our game and play the best for our ability.
Brandon.
Hey, Hayden, I was just wondering, when it comes to the Barry Odom and what he's been able to instill in you guys, not just with the plays and the scheme, but what's he like as a person that has maybe made you guys believe and be playing at such a high level on defense?
Well, he's just really easy to talk to, and you can credit that to him being a former head coach. He just knows how to relate to his players, and he's a very approachable person. You can go up and cut up with him before practice, have a couple laughs with him. He'll tell a few stories. A very funny person. And then, when it's time to get serious, let's get down to some ball here. But he's just extremely passionate about the game. You can tell, he lives and breathes for some football. And when you have a coach leading you in a battle like that, there's nothing else you can do except for rally around him.
Otis.
Hey, everybody talks about Coach Odom, but talk about Coach Rhodes, what he's meant to the linebackers in particular. We don't get to talk to the assistant coaches. So talk about Coach Rhodes and what he's meant to you guys.
Just another great guy. Definitely love sitting in the meeting room with him. Really funny, really, really smart, understands the game of football really well. And he coaches us really hard. He's a really hard coach. He doesn't, he's not going to let us mess up on a play and not rip us for it. That's for sure. So, he's going to make sure that we're making every play and playing the best we can. I think he's great about helping us with the game plan, learning what we're going to get that week. And I think he's done a phenomenal job. I think he's a great coach, and I've really enjoyed playing for him.
I got a couple things. One, Grant Morgan said after the game that you guys want to be the team that kind of sets the template for how teams defend people. And then we saw that with the Mississippi State defense you guys played and how teams have adopted that. Could you address that a little bit and how successful the drop 8 was against Ole Miss? And then secondly, what have you seen from Grant Morgan, playing with, his arms hurting and going out there and doing what he did the other night?
Your first question, I would just say that there's nothing wrong with, tailoring your defense in the best way possible to be successful. And that's what Coach Odom has done. I mean, every week we've done a little something different based on what we're getting. And, it's his ideology that we're going to try and stop the run and then we're going to defend the pass. And we stop the run, it forces them to be one-dimensional. And so we've harped on stopping the run quite a bit. But as far as dropping 8 goes, I mean, we have some dominant defensive linemen that can really rush hard, and just 3 of them. And so we have the ability to drop 8, which causes a lot of problems for a quarterback in the back end. It's really hard to see the open air. Where's the open receivers? Where's the open grass at? So it's been beneficial for us. And then you add in some pressures every now and then, and it can cause a lot of havoc. But as far as Grant Morgan goes, oh gosh, Grant's got a lot of praise. He's gotten a lot of praise this weekend. He's gotten a lot of praise, and he's deserving of it. I mean, I didn't know how well he played because I was out there with him. You lose track of the plays, and then I go on ESPN after the game, and he's got 19 tackles and a sack and a pick 6, and I'm just like, good Lord. I mean, this is unbelievable. And so, I mean, I texted him after the game, good job. But Grant's just, he's the general. He's on the field. He's making all the calls. Smartest football player I've ever played with. I mean, he can call out the play before it's snapped, and just knows where to be. And he's got a chip on his shoulder because he was a walk-on, and his older brother had a lot of success here. And I mean, you got to be so happy for the guy that he's proven himself and playing at extremely high level. I mean, he's second in the country right now in tackles. That's unbelievable.
Scotty.
Yeah, Hayden, just going back to Coach Rhodes for a second, like, could you detail, I guess without giving the goods away, could you detail how Coach Rhodes exactly gets you guys so prepared at the linebacker spot?
Well, I mean, it's the whole defensive staff, I mean, they come up with the game plan, and then Coach Rhodes is the one that relays it to us. So, they're in the staff room meeting about what kind of defense we want to run to stop what they're doing. And Coach Rhodes is just he's a great teacher. I mean, that's what you are. And you're a coach, you're a teacher, you're a professor. And, we're in the classroom with him, we're his students, and he's teaching us the best way he can. I mean, like I said, he's tough on us. And I mean, I love that. I don't want a coach that's going to go out to practice and baby me every day. I mean, he pushes us like no other. And I mean, he's made me quite a bit of a better football player. So I got to give it to him.
Nikki.
You guys get to take things a little bit easier this week, I think, from what I understood from what Pittman said. But how much has he emphasized not, relaxing your standards, like when you go out and stuff like that? Because if you were to, contract trace today, like, you could potentially be out 2 weeks from now and miss that game.
Yeah, I mean, it's dangerous. COVID's very real. Coach Pittman says that all the time. And, it's important to be safe and cautious, but at the same time, we're college students, we're young adults, we have lives outside of football that we'd like to enjoy as well. So, I mean, you're not going to find me in my apartment all day. I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to go out and get dinner somewhere and go hang out. But I mean, it is important to be safe and smart about the virus. And I think a lot of people are, but at the same time, it's important to kind of, have a social life still.
Mike.
It's so different for you guys this year. Most of you are used to being ripped apart on the internet and being ignored nationally and on the SEC network. And now all that's just totally turned around. They're always talking about you on ESPN, talking about you on the SEC network. How do you avoid that Nick Saban rat poison effect?
I just think we've seen so much of it for the past however many years that it's the good stuff hasn't really outweighed the bad stuff yet. I think a lot of us are still kind of under the impression that, you know, we haven't really done enough to prove ourselves yet. We still have quite a bit of a chip on our shoulder. I mean, we had 2 or 3 years of terrible football, and now that, you know, things are clicking a little bit and we're playing some better ball. I don't think that necessarily means that we're listening to social media more. I think we're definitely excited to get wins, and it's nice to see people, you know, tweeting nicer things about you for sure. Because there's nothing worse than losing, getting freaking ripped on Twitter. I'll tell you that right now. That's terrible. So it is nicer to see people tweet good things at you, but I think everyone's still very hungry to keep proving people wrong.
Brandon?
Yeah. When did you feel the confidence building in yourselves that you thought you could not only win a game this year, but your defense could be what wins the game for you, if you know what I mean?
You know, I think it's just we're realizing that like we can all 11 play really well together. And we do. We have a very cohesive defense. Our secondary is extremely sound. Our front seven are playing great. And so we just know that, you know, everyone's going to do their job. And when everyone does their job, we know we're going to make big plays. We're going to have TFLs. We're going to have sacks, interceptions. We're going to turn the ball over, things like that. And so, you know, when the offense turns the ball over, or we punt the ball, and you walk on the field with a defense that's got that kind of swagger, you know, it feels good. It's nice. You know, I know that all the other 10 guys are going to do their job, and that allows me to do my job and make plays.
Tom, did you have one more? All right. Thanks, Hayden.
Thank you, guys.